Okay, while we're here, we might as well add some texture. So let's take this top layer here and let's go layer, layer mask, reveal all. And the next thing I want to do is get some Photoshop brushes. And let's go to Window, Brushes. And I'm going to use the detail textures from T-Shirt Design Master Collection 2. If you don't have those, you can use any other texture you have in Photoshop brush format. But I want to do kind of a quick way to add texture so it's going to look good. So let's go back and highlight the main part of the layer here and go select load selection. And the channel we want to use is layer 3, or whatever the name of that layer is, transparency. That'll select everything that is actually opaque. And what we want to do is let's contract that selection. So go select, modify, contract. Let's try, say, 8 pixels. I think that looks pretty good. So let's hide our selection, just a Command or Control H, and I'll go to the brush tool here, and we want to paint into this layer mask, and that'll paint transparency into this type. And we want to do that with some of these textures. So let's try one of these. Let's try halftone grunge. And you can scale up or down your textures with the left and right bracket keys. And I want these to be fairly small. So what I'm doing is I'm just painting black into this layer mask. Remember, we have that selection that's kind of inset on the type, and we can just go in there. And these aren't the kind of textures that you paint in like with brush strokes. These are more the kind of textures that you just go and click once. And it's a really efficient way to add texture quickly to your type. And the reason we sort of did that inset selection is it leaves, let me use a different cursor here, it leaves kind of an edge on this type, so it kind of holds everything together, and it looks a little bit more, say, like an ink stamp look. You know, if you look at a classic ink stamp, it'll kind of have, you know, a solid edge, and then the inside will have a texture. But let's go back to that selection. Let's just deselect that, and now we can paint a tiny bit of texture in and break up that that edge. So we just want to go in there and just ever so slightly break up some of that kind of outline. And I think I just overdid it there. But yeah, so I think that is looking pretty good. Man, there's other things you could do. You could put texture outside of the type, but I'm just gonna stop there because I think you have the idea. And there you go. This is part 3 of a tutorial I did for the Liquify filter in Photoshop. So if you haven't seen the other parts, have a look out for those on my blog, raydombrowski.com or thevectorlab.com. Thank you.